one of the great things with Facebook is that, let's say as an example, you're on Facebook, you see a picture or a story or a product you like, you click that, anybody who's in your audience, anyone that follows you, now will see that you like the product or service. Which means that they too, if it matches what they're looking for, they'll click and like it too. And then guess what happens? Their audience now sees it. Do you see how your audience can grow with new customers? So it starts with one like, then the exposure goes out to the people who are in your audience, and then from that audience, those people who identify with what you like, they like it too. And then anybody in their audience, and the ball just keeps rolling. So this is a great way for you to attract new customers. Now, what does it cost to get involved with all these things? Does anybody know what the cost is? To get on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn? It's what?
It's free.
It's free. It's free. One of the questions I had asked was, why is Facebook and all of these things free? Well, understand that Facebook is in the business of connecting people. And the more people that use their services, the more products that they can present, and then they can sell that advertising space, which makes their revenue, right? That's a different platform than Google. If you want to draw attention or you want to draw customers, you have to pay Google for that. It's called Google AdWords or pay-per-click. Many of you have probably heard that expression. So the key here is you've got free tools at your disposal that are tied to the people you know or the customers you have. So let's say, as an example, I've got 500 customers. I'll create my Facebook page, and then I'll find those customers who are part of my network, and I'll invite them to like my page. Or if they come to the office, it's very simple. Sally, I'm so glad you're here. We've been working together for many years, or we've been providing services with you for many years. Did you know we had a Facebook page? Did you know we had a Twitter page? Did you know we had an Instagram page? Oh no, I didn't know that. Oh, you take a look at it. Would you mind going on and liking us? Right? Now there is a false positive to this liking of pages. The reality is, it used to be you could buy people to like you. But buying people to like you does not mean you're getting the right audience. What you're looking for with Facebook is how many people viewed what you have. That's the key. So if you post something, at the very bottom of your ad, you can see if someone liked it, and you can click on that and find out who liked it. And then you can communicate with them because they already said, I like it. And if you've never talked to them before, you can engage them. Sally, I saw you liked my page. What was it about it that you liked? Would you like to come in for a complimentary consultation? It's that simple. On the other side are views. Views are what I call the looky-loos. They're just traveling along the internet, just smurfing around, right? But they did see your ad. And it triggered something, because maybe they looked at it, they didn't like it, but they may have shared it with someone. And I'm sure many of you have seen that, where it says share on your icon. That means someone who may not have necessarily liked it, but they shared it with someone who they thought would benefit from it. Now, we've described two situations that are called viral marketing. Viral marketing means that it is marketing that is being done by other people as a result of something they saw from someone else. That's another reason to use Facebook. It's another reason to use Instagram. Instagram is probably visually one of the more used sites because of that. We tend to be, as a natural course, visual people. We want to see. We want to know what's going on. As a country, we're very nosy, right? It's our nature. We have to get the news. We have to know what the latest and greatest is. Pinterest is an interesting piece because what Pinterest does is it essentially provides you with a tutorial of the who, what, when, and why. If you use Pinterest for marketing, what you want to do is you want to put the terms, our procedures, our products, or services, and then download the tutorials, which tend to be general in nature, but are very informative. Now, there's another one out there called Snapchat. How many of you have heard about Snapchat? Okay, that's a good number. Snapchat tends to be for the younger crowd, 18 to 24 in most cases. However, because of its popularity, parents are saying, what are you doing over there? I'm on Snapchat. And what is Snapchat? Well, Snapchat lets me send pictures to my friends and it only stays on there for 24 hours. So as a parent, you begin to say, okay, what's with that? Right? So if you use Snapchat, in most cases, if you're using it in advertising, I would submit to you that you probably want to display things that are within a reasonable view. But in most cases, the 18 and 24-year-olds are using Snapchat in a way that is more than likely inappropriate. And because they think the image will disappear in 24 hours, why, they are really going to town. The cautionary note is that those images do not disappear. Just in case anybody is wondering. They go up into the cloud, which is where it is stored. Right? So if you are running for any position, if you're looking for a job, if you are trying to make an impact in your local community, be mindful of what you put on the internet about yourself. Even when you're out entertaining with friends. I would highly recommend that you don't merge your business page with your social page. But recognize if you have a business card, you give it out, people will look you up on Facebook, and if you have your tail out there wagging, then they're making an assessment about who you are and what you do, and whether or not you're the business for them. That's why I say to you, when you're dealing with the internet, you must be honest, because people do search. They're making judgments about you 24 hours a day as to whether or not they'll do business with you. Right? So separate the two. Set up your business page and then invite your family and friends to like that. But in your personal dealings, just be mindful that whatever you post is a digital footprint about who you are. Some people will say, well, then I don't want to be on the internet. Well, you can live like a hermit if you choose, but in most cases you won't be able to communicate with your friends because that's where they are. So just a cautionary note. The next one we want to talk about is Twitter. How many people know what Twitter are? Or what Twitter is, rather? Well, most of you, if you're not familiar with Twitter, that's where our current president communicates his displeasure. Okay. It is not natural to have that occur, but what Twitter was having financial difficulty, and to be truthful, they were looking to be bought. They were offering themselves out. But once the current president started using Twitter, and it helped him to become the president, by the way. And it is how he now still communicates, and how he communicates through his administration to us. They also are going to now start, according to the information that's being provided here recently, that if you want to come into this country, they want to look at your Facebook page. They want to know your social media accounts. They want to know what kind of person are you? What is your digital footprint? Who are you? So the truth is, while everything appears to be free, there are costs. So whoever you really are, make sure that you manage your digital footprint.
What about having a personal page and a business page? Can you be as outspoken as you are on your personal page and still have it not mixed up with your personal page?
Well, again, keep in mind that if you are in business and you're giving out your business card, in most cases, people will check Facebook, or they'll check LinkedIn, or they'll check Twitter. And in most cases, it will take them to your personal page. So whatever you're saying, if it's way over here, then people are making a judgment. If it's way over here, then they're making a judgment. Now, LinkedIn is probably the least political or unprofessional social media page you want to use. It is really designed for business. It's really designed, if you are what would be considered a thought leader in your industry, LinkedIn is a fantastic place to connect with other professionals or find work. LinkedIn is a great place to find a job. It's a great place to put on your education. If you write articles or you write press clippings, most of the information that I'm covering with you, I've posted on LinkedIn under my own name. So you can utilize many of these tools to such a degree that it provides you exactly what you need. But in this case, we're mainly talking about it in the sense of how do you acquire patients? How do you acquire customers? And the best way to do that is to start the account, start with people you know, start with the clients you have, and build the story. We're in the month of February. If you're in a medical practice or you're a business owner, there's absolutely no reason why you're not posting about Valentine's Day or having some special for Valentine's Day. If you're in breast cancer awareness time period, there's absolutely no reason why you're not posting about breast cancer awareness and some special event you're having at your office. Now, one of the tools that I do enjoy very much is Twitter. And the reason I enjoy Twitter is because what happens is, if in fact you start searching for something, the algorithm will start sourcing people who are also searching, who are like-minded, like you. Facebook, you reach out to people you know. Twitter, you reach out to people you don't know, and it brings them to you. Now, the beauty of social media is that you can block, delete anything or anyone you want. So if you are in a business and you've got a customer who had a bad experience, you've tried to engage them to resolve the issue, and they still want to put bad stuff about you, there's a feature in Facebook and in most cases on all of the social sites where you can block that person or delete them. Or if they're being overly aggressive, you can submit a note to Facebook, to Twitter, to LinkedIn, letting them know exactly that this person is being a bully. And guess what they will do? they will shut that person's account down.
Quick question.
In most cases, they do. Well, but here's how you know. When you friend someone, there's a little icon that says they're your friend. When you unfriend, it says, would you like to friend them? Right? Add friend.
Are you sure you want to?
But if you unfriend someone, I would say it is not a bad thing to do, because to unfriend says that certain behavior, certain dialogue, certain conversation is not within the realm of what you feel comfortable with. There's nothing wrong with expressing your desire not to be spoken to that way, or I've unfriended many people. Thought I was connecting to a client, and all of a sudden I'm seeing bodies and parts and heads blown up, and I thought to myself, okay, this is not acceptable. Block. And then to go a step further, unfriend.
You can also unfollow. If
Yes.
you just don't, like if you got a family member that you do not agree with, but you don't really feel comfortable about unfriending them, you can just unfollow them. You don't have to look at their stuff anymore.
Now, but in my view, if I'm going to unfollow you, I'm basically unfriending you. Unfollow is a nice way of saying I'm unfriending. You're no longer my friend, right? So that, I mean, let's just be honest here, but that is a soft exit to unfollow.
That's what you use for your family members.
Yes. Well, you can do it for anybody. Anybody who's you know, maybe you want to stay connected. Maybe they've got some information you could use, and you can just unfollow them instead of unfriending them. But I will tell you again, the key for me is that if you're on the internet, you must be honest about who you are, because the internet has everything about you, public records, etc. You can't, if you're on your phone and you accept an app, what you'll notice in most cases when you download an app, they ask you, can they have access to your contacts, your images, right? Why do they want that information? Because they're creating a profile about you. They're trying to determine who you are, what products you like. And remember that social media is emotional. It's how I feel. It's what I think. It's what makes me happy. It's what I enjoy. Google and Yahoo and Bing is simply, give me directions to. How do I do this? How do I do that? It's just straight ahead. But Facebook and all those other tools tend to be very emotional. So, again, I'm not trying to tell people not to be who you are. I'm just saying, while you're being who you are in the social media world, you must be mindful that people are watching. Think about this. There are over 1 billion users on Facebook. How do you think Facebook is able to handle that many people? And has anyone ever heard of the term AI? AI is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is simply a way where they take all of the profiles of all the people and put it in a machine to get it to become a person. So the thing that is happening that I see probably in our future very soon, is that they will take the personalities of character that are being presented throughout the billions of people, and they will construct an android of some kind with the mental capacity of all of the emotional feelings that have been presented throughout the internet. You now have vehicles that are self-driving. They can think. They see, if you have a newer car and someone's too close to you, what does that light do on your car? Right? If you have OnStar and you are in an accident, the car communicates that you've been in an accident. It'll actually pop on and say, "Are you okay? Do we need to send you help?" So understand that while this is a great tool, if you are up to clandestine activities, you will be found. Who was it they found Saddam Hussein down in a drain? That's how precise this stuff is. If you do location services on your phone to get directions, that means they know exactly where you are. You can turn your phone off and they can still find you. Now, that may sound scary, but in a way it's a good thing too. Because if you are lost, they can ping your phone. If you're injured, you can send a message out. We had a friend who just recently had no idea the circumstance that they were in. They posted a message on Facebook, and it would have made you proud to see the amount of response that person got. Just unbelievable how much people are looking at us. And I tell women all the time, listen, if someone is stalking you or someone's behaving inappropriately and you keep seeing them, you post that and let people know. Or you send a private message inside of your phone to your family and you let them know that this is going on. Because to be honest with you, when things are happening in the world, we don't hear it from the news as fast as we hear it from the internet. When troubles are going on in another part of the world, we actually get that immediately through a Twitter. We get live feed. How many people have used the live feed option on Facebook? It's a great tool. Listen, if I'm doing a facial and I've got somebody who's willing to be my patient, and I've got another person who can just hold the camera of my phone while I'm doing a procedure and I'm explaining what I'm doing and I'm talking it through and I'm showing, and then I'm asking Sally, how does this feel to you? Is this painful? How long have you been a client? What's your experience been? What happens is, if you have people that are connected to you, Facebook starts inviting them to your live feed. It'll send a pop-up that says you're now live, right? So guess what's starting to happen? We're all becoming our own entertainment centers, our own news reporters, our own commercials. We're able to do that because Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, they're all evolving. And the interesting thing is, it happens real time. If I pull out my phone right now and show the audience, and then I did one of these at the Florida Society of Electrolysis, check out the big crowd, right? Now here's the only problem with that. I haven't gotten any of you guys permission to do that. Right? So when you do things like that, you need to make sure that the people you're doing it with are in agreement. The same thing happens with before and after images that you post. Any before and after images of services, treatments, procedures, you must make sure that the client has filled out a form that gives you authorization to carry out that particular image or to carry out that particular live feed. Yes?
Talk about the live feed for just another minute or two, if you will, because I've seen these on my Facebook feed, and it's been people playing with the kids in the yard and all kinds of things. So when they're finished with the live feed, can you go back and access that and look at that later?
You most certainly can. And here's the great part. You can take that live feed information, especially if it's a really nice clip, you can upload that to YouTube and create your own YouTube channel. And then create your own audience from there. Right? You don't need a handheld device like one of these things here. We basically are able to become whatever we want to be on the net. And it is free. The only time it costs you is if you want more of that and you're willing to pay for it. Google AdWords,
It's cheap. It could be like $5.
it can be. It can be. But how does it source it? So the way the internet works is to ensure that you get immediate customers from where you live. Because most people will only go 20 miles, 30 miles outside of where they live. And in most cases, they can find what they want in that area, unless it's a specialized procedure. So the way the internet works is, it will source by age, location, procedure, service, city, zip code, ethnicity. So you can create basically a profile of the type of client you want to have, set your ad up for the cities or city that you want, and then the algorithms will then sort people to your page. Very simple. And if you don't have a website, but you do have Facebook, has the same impact. But I would tell you, if you are in business, there is no reason why you don't have a website. Should be no reason. If your primary goal is to create revenue, you should have a website, even if it's a 1 or 2 pager. No reason not to. Now, why do I say that? Because your website is a 24-hour brochure. And on each website, you should have the who, what, when, where, how. Very simple, right? And you must have a contact form, because remember, we're trying to get an email address. So I want to know who you are, how do I reach you, email or phone number, and what service are you interested in? Because that way, you're narrowing the funnel. Remember, we talked about the funnel. The funnel is your opportunity. So if you have a contact form that says, we do laser hair removal, we've been doing laser hair removal for 20 years, here's our list of testimonials or reviews, and here's how you can reach us. It's very simple. It really does. Because if you're not really good at social, but at least you have a website, you can start getting email addresses. So why are email addresses so important? Email is how we communicate. We don't write letters anymore. We just don't. We're getting to the point where we don't write our bills out. We just go online and pay them. So if you have an email address, a database in your practice, that database is like your customer file. How many customer files you have in your practice? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000? Of those, how many do you have email addresses on? Why is that important? It's important because once you take those email addresses and load them into a system called Constant Contact or MailChimp, M-A-I-L-Chimp, MailChimp. MailChimp is free, up to, I think, 2,500 or 5,000 contacts. And you can send out monthly specials using those email addresses. And the beautiful thing with MailChimp and Constant Contact is it allows you to let people opt out. So if they don't want to hear from you, they'll just opt out, which is fine with you. But they do have an area, like when I send out my offerings, I put an opt-out option right at the top so they can see it. But I also say in that opt-out, this means that you will no longer get any of our specials. And if they continue to opt out, then they didn't want it, right? Now, how do you build up your audience? How do you build the traffic? Very simple. Just ask. And I said it just a few minutes ago. Sally, did you know we had a Facebook page? Take a look at it. Put your review on there. We would surely appreciate it. Because once, I'll give you an example. We got a nice gift. Our company got a nice gift from one of our recent clients. They sent a nice care package. Very touching. I posted that on Facebook. I posted it on Twitter. I posted it on LinkedIn. Posted it on Google+. Every one of those have a different audience. But there's also an opportunity as a result of that. I'm simply letting them know that we do good work, the customer recognized it, sent us a gift. So if somebody was thinking about doing business with us, guess what that's going to do? Push them toward me. It'll make them dial the number or send an email. And in that case, it actually did work. Another thing about email addresses. Yesterday, I do a lot of trade shows, probably 6 a year now. It'll be 6 a year. I used to do more than that, but as you go on, you realize that you don't need to be at all of them. But part of the reason I go is to get access to the database. So I had emails sent to me as a result of that. And then in that email, I sent a nice little note to the doctors who attended. And I did that at 2 o'clock yesterday, and I got an email from a doctor at 9 o'clock saying, would you mind taking a look at my website? Would you mind taking a look at it? To get that email address didn't cost me a thing. And to send that email didn't cost me a thing. It just took my time. Now, one thing you do want to be mindful of is grammar. I am notoriously being corrected. There is a service out there called Grammarly, that you can upload or download, as it were, and it will automatically correct the things that are not proper. There, or, are, A-R-E. It's easy, weather, right? It's easy to get those words mixed up, but it also is important to realize that what you say in your email has an impact on whether you will be properly received. Okay?
What's the name of that website? Did you say?
Grammarly.
Grammarly?
Grammarly.com. And they'll correct your spelling, they'll correct your grammar. It's worthwhile to have if you're going to be sending individualized email. But now let's go back to this point of what are the best ways to use social media. I think when you're on the internet, you should probably set an agenda. So for the month of January, what are we going to talk about? For the month of February, what are we talking about? What are the specials that we're going to offer? And you need to have a marketing plan. Don't just be random. Have a notion. Who are the people you're trying to reach? Why them? What do you expect to get out of it? Right? Now, your business will come to you multiple ways. If you're using Constant Contact and you do a mailer for Valentine's Day, you're offering laser hair removal, get your facial rejuvenation, or some places are doing liposuction or the Colombian butt lift or whatever that would be, right? There's all kinds of things. Face fat transfer, right? The new word is fat is where it's at. Seriously. It used to be that the doctors thought that fat was a wasteful product. Turns out it's actually good. And the interesting thing is, for women that are non-smokers, your fat viability with stem cells in it is even better. Fat is actually a better rejuvenation tool than Botox, than Restylane, than Juvederm, your own fat, right? Now, the FDA, because it is being discovered that your own body's ability to rejuvenate itself will affect industry, they are giving a side-eye view. But I'm just submitting to you that fat transfer to the butt from your abdomen is now the normal. Or to your breast, if you have a small breast and you don't want to put silicone in there, you can extract the fat, have it put in here, and it looks pretty doggone good. Now, is it a permanent circumstance? If you're a person who exercises significantly, you will lose some of that volume over time. But I'm just submitting to you that the industry is changing, and if you're connected with businesses that provide those services, you'll begin to see their post about that. What's another great advantage in social media? You can keep an eye on your competition, right? So Sally's down the street from you, and she looks just super busy. How come Sally's so busy? What is she talking about that I'm not talking about? What services is she offering that I'm not offering? What images is she showing that I'm not showing? What reviews has she got that I don't have? So it's a good way to keep an eye on your competition, and a good way to determine whether or not your communication process with your prospective clients is effective. Does it work? And that's why I tell you, one size does not fit everyone. You have to try them all. But if you are going to do it, you must be consistent. Once a day is sufficient. But once a day, you want to talk about your theme for the month. What product, what service, what treatment pathway, what review about that treatment pathway. These are excellent ways to get new business. Excellent ways. Do not be afraid to ask people to like your Facebook page. Because the more people that like it, the greater the opportunity for you to get additional business. And again, keep in mind that just because they like it doesn't mean they're going to buy. It just means they like it. What I'm more interested in from my side is I look at the people that are viewing. But if they like it, once they do, that opens up the gateway to their audience, to you, right? That's how it begins. So that like by me on your page now exposes my audience to you for them to see. And then it keeps growing. How many people know what Messenger is? Facebook Messenger? Okay, so when Facebook first rolled that out, it was the boogeyman because it had all these little extra things. They basically want to own you. But guess what? They have a right. You're using their service for free. They want to be able to use your data. That's okay, because you're using their machine to get what you want, so they want to get what they want. Just understand that. Now, Messenger has evolved. Messenger used to just be for messaging. But now you can attach video. Now you can attach images. Now you can put an ad. You can really, and Messenger is a social product that if you didn't have Facebook, you could still use Messenger without it. But guess what they're going to constantly do? Invite you to get a Facebook page. Who knows what WhatsApp is? WhatsApp. Okay, WhatsApp is owned by Facebook just as Messenger is. Nobody knew that. Yeah. We're going to uncover a lot of good stuff. YouTube, who owns YouTube? Google. And Facebook actually tried to buy Snapchat, but the guy turned them down. And now he's got a $3 billion IPO, our initial public offering. He's going to go public, and then they'll build on from there. But my point is, these are all tools that you can use to grow your business. They're excellent tools. Now, the interesting thing with WhatsApp that people do love is that it encrypts your messaging. Does anybody know what that means, encryption? Basically, it means that it scrambles your message so that people who are not authorized to view your message and communication back and forth are not able to. It scrambles it, blocks it, and that includes the government. When something's encrypted, even the government is not able to access that information. The reason most people use Apple is because they're encrypted. It's private. And in fact, the government had to hire someone to hack an Apple device. Right? So in most cases, Apple's pretty secure. But anymore, if you are doing the right thing, it doesn't matter whether the government sees it or not, because you're doing the right thing, so what does it matter? Now, if you have something secret going on and you don't want anybody to know, you're better off on WhatsApp. Right? Yes?
I have a question. I've noticed that when somebody sends me a video on WhatsApp, it automatically shows up on my photo album as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Because what it's doing is, it's creating a catalog. Like in my phone, if I go to my gallery, if you have a Gmail account, you have a gallery, okay? The reason you have that is because all your data gets backed up onto Gmail's cloud or onto Apple's cloud. But the video files, if you downloaded it, more than likely it's something you wanted to keep. If you want to delete it, you just go into your file and delete it. Anything you don't want, you delete.
Is there a way that you can make WhatsApp stop downloading to your phone?
You can, but that will limit your ability to use the service to its full capacity. Just remember, any tools within the social networks, like as an example in Facebook, there's a section you can go into, you click on your, hold on here real quickly, I'll tell you un momento. the internet in here is pretty challenging.
Maybe.
So there's a section in Facebook where you can go into, and it's called account settings or app settings. And in any of those, you can activate or deactivate what tools you want to use or not use. And you can't see it, but it's usually at the bottom of your personal profile, and you scroll down and it'll say help and settings. And in the account settings, you have general and you have security, you have privacy, you have timeline and tagging, you have location and blocking. So under timeline and tagging, you can tell Facebook who you want to see what's happening on your timeline. If you have people you don't want to see your timeline, you can block them. Privacy allows you to determine who is included and who is excluded. The ability, when you go to a restaurant and you want to let people know that you arrived at the restaurant or you're happy to be there, you click that button. And when you click that button, what happens is it brings up a menu of where you possibly could be. You can then select that, and then you can tell the computer who's with you. You can tell Facebook who joined you. Or you can invite people to an event. And these are free tools within the platform. And in most cases, it's within most of those platforms. So, again, with the internet, you are as free as you want to be online. But understand your digital footprint tells who you are.
Another question.
Yes.
I use Constant Contact.
Uh-huh.
So what is an acceptable number of e-blasts to send out before, I don't want to upset anybody or think that they're being bombarded with.
Once a month.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because if you're sending me email 2-3 times a month, you're clogging up my
Okay.
email box. Yes.
What if you're having a specific event and maybe for months coming you just do one a month, but then right before the event do like one a week for a couple weeks? Would that be?
That's hosting the event
Right.
on Facebook. That's
We're
different.
talking e-blast. I thought we were talking about e-blast.
Well, we are, but I would not.
Like an account.
If you know 6 months in advance that you're going to have an event, when you get down to the last 30 days, you can start a countdown. And that's what you want to do. We're 4 weeks away, we're 3 weeks away, we're 2 weeks away, the event is tomorrow. That is more appropriate.
Okay.
But if you're just communicating specials, offers, services, treatments, once a month, and have a plan. The worst thing you can do is just throw information out there on the board and hope for the best. Without a plan, nothing will happen. How many people, oh, go ahead.
But isn't it true in some way in some advertising I've heard that it almost takes, whether it's print like an email or a catalog, advertisement you get, that 3 times, it almost takes 3 times a person seeing that before they respond sometimes.
Not in social media, because as an example, there's an event coming, a jazz event I want to go to in next month. It'll have probably some of the top artists in the world, I guess. I got that notice 4 months ago. I selected it. And then it opened up the door for me to get the specials. I think if you're going to have events, the best place to post about your events is on Facebook. Now, if you're using Constant Contact, create a link to your Facebook page. So that if you want to update about the event every day, then if they like you on Facebook, then they can see it that way. But in terms of sending me email every day about an event, I'm more than likely going to consider you spam or unsubscribe. So the key is that if you do Constant Contact or MailChimp, and you want to communicate daily about that event, be sure to direct them to your Facebook page. And you can even say that to stay up to date on the latest things happening with this event, go to our Facebook page, go to our Twitter page, go to our Instagram, go to our, our Snapchat page, whatever have you. Now, we haven't talked a lot about Google+. Does anybody have a Google+ account? You do, okay. I would recommend, if you have a Gmail account, that you have a Google+ account. Why? Because Google+ purpose was to compete against Facebook. That was its original design. Turned out that it was not as effective as Google had hoped for. Nonetheless, it's a great tool if you have a business. If you create a Google+ page, you can upload your email contacts into that page, and you can use Google+ the same way you use Facebook. The exact same way. And here's the other thing. While it may seem that Google+ is not as important, Google hasn't given up on it. They're actually right now in the process of making some updates on Google+ that they hope will draw you in.
So they get it through their email?
You set it up. So like as an example, if you go to your Gmail account, when you open it up, in the right-hand corner, there's these little squiggly boxes. You see right in that right corner? When you click on that, it'll show a big G, orange G, which is Google+. You click on that, and it'll help you to create your Google+ page. But remember, you can use it exactly the same way you use Facebook. Except, the interesting thing with Google+ is you can create groups within Google+. So if you have people you upload, and you have a bunch of doctors in there, you can group them under the doctor heading. If you have clients who most often do laser hair removal, you can group those clients in there. And why are you grouping them? Because you want to send them the latest and greatest offers that are available to you or from you, right? So these are great tools that you have at your disposal. And guess what Google+ costs? It's free. It's free. These are free things that are at your disposal. But remember, once you accept the terms of the free opportunity, you also have to accept that they are taking your information as well. Right? The email contacts that you upload into any of the social platforms, that means they own them as well as you. However, to me, that's not as important as the bottom line result. The bottom line result is, I want business. I want new customers, right? And I need to keep in touch with my customers often enough so that they don't look down the street at Sally. And by the way, if you have a Facebook page and you make an offer and someone puts a comment back to them. Don't ignore. Could convert. Now remember, however, that in the real world, Google AdWords are people who are more than likely ready to buy. Facebook is mainly people who are shopping, trying to get to know before they make that final decision. But you can engage them because they've either liked it or they've viewed it. And you can see who it is that viewed it, right? What I tell my clients about the internet is that it can be your best friend or it can be your worst enemy. You can really hurt your business if you don't behave well in your dealings with your customers. Because they will give a review. And guess what? On Google, it is so difficult to get rid of a bad review. You have to literally pay someone to get it off. Or you have to have enough good reviews that it pushes down the bad. So be nice. No one pays their money to be mistreated. If you have a 10 o'clock appointment with a client, don't walk in at 10:30. People don't wait to spend their money. It's rude, it's unprofessional, and it says to them that you think your time is more important than theirs. Be a good business steward. Take care of your practice. Take care of your business. Take care of your client. The better you are at customer service, the more reviews you will get that are positive, which will attract more customers. And we're all in this to make money. For some of us, this may not be the only thing we do. But for a great many of us, it's our lifeline. It's our profession. It's what we've chosen. And guess what? The customer picked you out of all these other people. Because they could have went and spent their money somewhere else. That was their right to decide. All right. Let's go on to the next part of it, which is talking to your audience is better than talking at them in social media. What do I mean by that? As Google and Facebook and Twitter begin to be the dominant sources of engagement with consumers, what do you want to say that will drive people to you? How do you want to say it? So, what I would say is when you start posting on the internet, talk to people like you're their friend. When you list an ad, you really don't want to miss this opportunity to be one of our first clients to take advantage of XYZ. Or, if you haven't heard about the latest treatment that we offer for facial rejuvenation, contact our office to find out more. People are nosy. They want to be let in on the secret. They want to know what the latest offer is. They want to know how to get the discount. They want to know how to join the raffle, how to get the reward. They want to know who's been coming to your office. If a celebrity comes to your office and they don't mind you, put your arm around them and take a picture, post it. What's wrong with that? If they gave you permission. And guess what your followers are thinking? Well, if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me, right? The other thing I would say is, do you have a customer of the month? Let people know you appreciate them. If you've got a customer who's been coming to you for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, talk about them. And get them to tell you why they keep coming back. How many of you have a customer that you've had for 5 years? Wouldn't it make them feel good to know that they're important to you? Do you have a loyalty program?
I worry about the confidentiality with that.
Again, guess what? You ask them. If they say it's okay, go for it. Sally, you've been a customer with me for 15, 20 years. Do you mind terribly much if I let people know that you've been my customer? And to be honest, what I'd love to have you do, in your own words, is tell people why you keep coming back. If Sally doesn't want her picture on, but she just wants to say, I'm Sally and I've been coming for 20 years, let her do it. There's nothing wrong with that. She doesn't have to have her picture on. And in fact, she doesn't have to tell even what she's been getting from you. What she can say is, Jennifer has really been kind. She's on time. I never feel like my money is being wasted. She gives me the best prices available. She's very competitive compared to other people that I've looked at over the years. What's wrong with that? That's a great thing to have. The more testimonials you have from your clients, the stronger your opportunity to get new clients becomes. The more bad reviews you have, the less likely you're to get business. And by the way,